In the heart of Umuokoro village, nestled at the edge of a dusty road, lived an old widow named Mama Nkem. Her home was a humble mud hut, and her only family was her late sister's son, a little boy called Somto. Life was a daily struggle, but Mama Nkem's generosity knew no bounds. Every single evening, a wondrous aroma of rice and rich palm oil would drift from her small kitchen. And somehow, in a way no one could ever quite figure out, there was always enough food for anyone who came to her door. Children, their school day done, would stop by for a comforting spoonful. Traders, weary from the market, would knock, and she'd greet them with a warm smile and a full plate. It's said that even the village chief once sent his guards to fetch some of her famous rice, and even after they left, the pot was still brimming. At first, everyone simply thought she was a kind woman, exceptionally skilled at making a little go a long way. But as the seasons changed, a beautiful mystery began to unfold. The pot of rice never, ever ran out. Mama Nkem cooked every evening, yet she was never seen at the market buying more rice. When a poor harvest struck the village and food became scarce, her pot continued to provide, a beacon of hope for all. The villagers began to whisper among themselves. Some believed it was a divine blessing, a gift from the heavens for her pure and selfless heart. They said that because she shared everything she had without a second thought, she was rewarded with abundance. But with wonder comes curiosity, and sometimes that curiosity can turn sour. Among the villagers was a young man named Okachukwu, known for his sharp tongue and restless nature. He would often joke with his friends, saying, "Mama and Kem must be doing something to make that rice multiply." One evening, feeling bold after sharing some palm wine with his friends, he made a boast. "Tomorrow night," he declared, "I'm going to find out what's really inside that pot. I bet she hides something special under all that rice." His friends laughed, daring him to follow through on his drunken promise. So, later that night, under the soft glow of a low-hanging moon, Okachukwu crept into Mama Nkem's quiet compound. He tiptoed toward the kitchen, where a single clay lamp cast flickering shadows on the walls. There it was, the pot, sitting over the dying embers of the fire, its contents bubbling gently. He hid in the darkness, waiting. When Mama Nkem stepped outside to fetch water from the well, he saw his chance. He darted into the kitchen and lifted the lid. What he saw took his breath away. The rice inside shimmered with a soft, ethereal light, as if it were alive. Astonished, he couldn't resist. He reached into his pocket, pulled out a small bag, and scooped a handful of the glowing rice. But the very instant his fingers touched it, a change occurred. The gentle bubbling in the pot ceased. The sweet, comforting aroma that filled the air vanished completely. Just then, Mama Nkem returned. She saw Okachukwu frozen beside the now silent pot, his face a mask of shock and guilt. She looked at him not with anger, but with a deep, profound sadness. In a quiet, gentle voice, she said, "My son, some blessings are not meant to be taken. They are meant to be shared." Okachukwu tried to apologize, to explain, but the words wouldn't come. Overwhelmed with shame, he dropped the bag of rice and fled from the compound, his legs trembling beneath him. From that day forward, the magic was gone. The next morning, when Mama Nkem lifted the lid of her pot, it was empty, save for a few dry grains stuck to the bottom. The children and traders who came by that evening found no comforting meal waiting for them. A heavy sense of loss settled over Umuokoro. The endless pot of rice was no more. Yet even in the face of this loss, Mama Nkem's spirit of giving did not waver. She continued to cook what little she had, sharing it just as gladly as before. And a beautiful thing began to happen. The villagers, realizing what they had lost and what she had given, started bringing food to her. They took turns helping her tend to her small garden. The community that had once relied on the magic of her single pot now learned to rely on one another. Her act of sharing had planted a seed of generosity in everyone. Years passed, and Mama Nkem eventually passed on peacefully in her sleep. Her little clay pot, the source of so much wonder, was placed beside her mat as a symbol of her life. The pot never produced rice again, but the people of Umokoro swore that something of its magic lingered. They say that whenever someone in the village shares their last meal with a neighbor, for just a fleeting moment, the sweet, unmistakable aroma of Mama Nkem's rice fills the air. A quiet, fragrant reminder that true abundance isn't found in what you keep, but in what you give away. thank you so much for watching and sharing this story with us. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more stories that inspire and uplift. See you next time.